Hey, I'm gonna put a Post-it note over your picture on the computer.
Yeah.
All right, it's 8 o'clock. I'd like to call the Water and Light Commission meeting for February 7th, 2024 to order, please. Please call roll.
Commissioner Grindy?
Yes.
Commissioner Beauchamp?
Yes.
Commissioner Clerk?
Yes.
Commissioner Riopel?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Approved minutes from previous meeting, January 17th, 2024.
So moved. Second.
Please call roll.
Grindy?
Yes.
Beauchamp?
Yes.
Quirk?
Yes.
Riopel?
Yes.
Bills and payroll.
I'll move. Second.
Thank you. Call roll, please.
Grindy?
Yes.
Beauchamp?
Yes.
Quirk?
Yes.
Riopel?
Yes.
All right, nothing from the public. Reports. Todd.
Good morning. Morning.
Morning, Todd.
Got a few items here. On our 2023 miscellaneous project, the Zavril easement has been recorded with the county, so that's all good to go. And then we're still in the holding mode for spring till finish up the cleanup work, so nothing's changed there. 2024 miscellaneous, we're still working on the plans and specs. I'd say we're probably 65 to 70% done with those. And then once we get the projects identified, then we'll put the material list together and get those plans and specs going. Business Highway 2 lighting project, the drawings are done for construction. And then the specs are about 50% on those, so we're still working on those, trying to get those done so we can get those to MnDOT for their review. Other than that, working on map updates, industrial park sub-projects. Still got design and engineering estimate to put together for Crystal Sugar on the possible beet freeze loop equipment that we're looking to putting in. And then the last two items I have require handouts, which last Friday,
You can have that one.
a little feedback.
Mike's got his on the speakerphone, so it's coming through. No, keep it up there, I gotta move it.
All right. Like I was said, last two items here I got are related to the handouts. And Mike, I'll have to apologize. I didn't get the chance to get those to you. I just got them finished up last night. So the first one, we went out for transformer quotes. They were due Friday at 3 p.m. That is the sheet that I handed out that's got the blue on the front of it. We went out for quotes on 15 transformers. We got 4 bidders responded to that. We got 2 each on the single phase units and 4 bids on each of the 3 phase units. Went over those with Todd and Tyler yesterday. Echoing's getting annoying. And then we pared those 15 down to 11. That's why those 4 are blued out on the top sheet there. These are mainly just for replenish inventory and maybe a little bit about what we think might be coming in the future due to the long lead times. Those 11 items, Resco with the Ermco brand was the cheapest and the quickest delivery on all of them. So we're looking at recommending that we purchase those 11 transformers from Resco for a total of $221,846 is what it came out to be.
And the lead time again on that for those?
The lead time was 34 to 48 weeks, which was much better than what I was expecting. We had quite a range. On the three-phase units, they went from that range out all the way out to 150 some weeks. So,
Does that give us any in stock?
well, yeah, they're mostly
For stock?
For stock. It's a little hard to plan out that far, you know, as far as what people might need for future growth, but we do know a few things that might be coming up. We're sort of speculating that we want to have something on hand, so.
We got plenty of wire on hand, Todd?
That's my next
That's the next page.
spreadsheet.
Because this stuff isn't going to go down. I still say we're 3 to 4 years out on availability on a lot of stuff before it gets back to halfway as normal, from what I'm seeing and hearing.
Well, it's going to take a combination of decrease in demand and increase in manufacturing to make up some of that and get it somewhat back to normal. But
So what about all your comments here? Are these anything to be concerned about, or are we
with
just ignoring it just to get them, or what's the situation?
well, with the Resco units, I can just go through those quick. They did have a note that it's subject to escalation or de-escalation at time of shipment, which is very common now
Yeah.
because the way materials are fluctuating. They can't guarantee the lead time, so it could go out even a little further than what they quoted, but that's the best they could give us now. The quote's only valid till the 22nd. They took exception to some of the widths of the unit we had in our spec, which,
So nothing concerning.
no, it
Pretty
was
standard.
all the normal stuff. Nothing that, you know, would preclude us from purchasing from them.
So we're looking for a motion on the.
Motion to accept the quotes from Resco for this whole group of specified transformers.
Second.
Thank you. Please call roll.
Grindy,
Yes.
Bochamp,
Yes.
Clerk,
Yes.
Riepel.
Yes.
Okay. We will be putting purchase orders together for those, so we'll get started on that and get those out to Resco and get those on order. The second one, that was the second handout. And we went out for quotes on what we think we're going to need for wire and cable. This is four projects that we have coming up in 2024 plus inventory. Those quotes were due at 3 o'clock yesterday. So I haven't had a chance to review this yet with Todd and Tyler, but what I do have listed here is what I'm recommending we go with. So I guess any approval might be upon review of this with Todd and Tyler to see if they want to go with what I have recommended here and if we want to bump up any of the quantities or not. But we went out for fiber, 4/aught URD cable, some secondary cables, and then some number 4 bare copper, number 12/2 NM, and then some tracer wire. That's the 6 items we had listed there. The way the quotes came out, we got a good response. We got up to seven quotes on some of the stuff, so that was good to see. The way my recommendations work out, those 6 items would be distributed between 4 vendors. Board of States, Dakota Supply Group, Gray Bar, and Rebate. The total came out to $44,166.76. My estimate on that was a little over $57,000, so it actually came in under what I was thinking it was going to be. And delivery times were pretty good as well. The longest lead time was 3 to 4 weeks. So. I know when we quoted out the fiber last time, that was out quite a ways. It was almost a year. So things have greatly improved in that regard. But.
Again, this is stock.
Well, the fiber is what we need that for our fiber project for this year. The rest of it would be, well, the tracer wire we'll use on the industrial park circuits 4 and 5. The rest of it's for stock.
How much do we typically go through on this, like the 4-aught 15 kVs and your 4-aught 2-aught triplex?
Depending upon how many houses, now with the new bigger houses going in, we're running double runs. That's part of the reason bumped us up a little bit. We do have some in stock, but I don't want to get caught behind the 8 ball there. So, I mean, it isn't a lot, but it's what I think we need for the year. Tyler and I went through it, so we'll have a little bit on hand.
So
I think we went
you're
through.
okay with the motion with the 1 megawatt?
Yeah.
Looks like it's good timeline and the price is right.
Well, and I wouldn't be afraid to buy more with these prices, is where I'm going with it.
Right, I understand. So if we need to up the quantity a little bit, you'd be okay with it?
I'm all for it.
Okay.
I'll move that we accept the bid awards to the marked in yellow with the caveat that the superintendent can extend and add to these amounts as he sees fit.
Yep, perfect.
Second.
Thank you. Please call roll.
Grindy,
Yes.
Bochamp,
Yes.
Quirk,
Yes.
Riepel.
Yes.
Okay, and these will also be purchase ordered, so we'll be
Please.
putting those documents together too. So, other than that, I didn't have anything else on my list unless there's questions.
Any questions for Todd?
No.
How about you, Mike? Anything for Todd?
No.
Okay. Thank you, Todd.
All right, thank you.
Steve?
Good morning.
Morning.
My update will be much shorter than Todd's here. The 2022 water main replacement project, we are still waiting on Tiger to get us the IC-134 forms for, Tiger and his subcontractors. Did send him an email again this morning, just reminding him that we need those in order to release his retainage. So we're just, like I said, hanging on the retainage is all we're hanging on to. Otherwise, quantities, everything, we're all in agreement. So we're good there. 2023 water main replacement project, that one we have closed out, and we'll just be finishing up as-built drawings here this winter. And then the soda ash project had startup, or they completed startup on January 24th and 25th. I was out of town for some training at that time, so I think I'll have Brian during his update just kind of give you a little more update of how the startup went and everything. So that is all I have, unless you have any questions.
Okay. Any questions for Steve? How about, okay, Mike? No, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Mr. Gallstead?
Good morning. Not much to report. I've got a couple of projects that I'm just finalizing for Mr. Widseth. I apologize for missing last meeting. Something came up and I wasn't able to be here. And that's about it, unless anybody has any questions for me.
Any questions for Ron? Thanks, Ron.
Thank you, sir.
Business, nothing. Request to hire water treatment plant operator. Morning, Brian.
Good morning. As you're all aware, approximately 3 weeks ago, we lost water plant operator Randy Johnson unexpectedly. As a result, we'd like to seek permission to start the hiring process to replace the employee. My recommendation there would be for the Water and Light Commission to give permission to notify civil service to start the advertising process for a water treatment plant operator.
I'll move that we start the hiring process.
Okay.
The hire water plant operator.
So we did discuss also with the union, and there's going to be an internal posting first, which I believe is going to last 1 to 2 weeks, and then once we've gotten past the internal posting time, then it will go external.
Okay.
Second.
So moved.
Hey, I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Are we going to notify like any of the trade schools
Yeah.
for an internship or anything?
For an internship specifically, or for the full-time position?
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, and we will do that. I did hear earlier too, Mike, that you'd wondered about overtime being created. You know, now that we're down an operator, we have not created any overtime due to this, and I don't anticipate that we will, just because you know, we've had to adjust the operator schedules. You know,
Sure.
to avoid that from happening.
Good.
All right. Please call roll.
Grindy,
Yes.
Bochamp.
Yes.
Quirk,
Yes.
Riepel.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Billing clerk, cashier, 6-month probation period.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Fine.
Can't believe this time has already come. It's been almost 6 months. Alyssa Kozel was hired August 16, 2023 as a billing clerk cashier. So her 6-month probationary period is up February 16th. I held her 6-month review last Friday, the 2nd of February, and she meets and exceeds any of the responsibilities and duties required of the position, and I recommend approving permanent employment for Alyssa as a billing clerk cashier at step 2 of $31.67 an hour, effective February 16th.
I'll move that we appoint Alyssa
I'll second.
Kozel to
I'll second.
Yep.
permanent
Got you,
position.
Mike. So motion by Punky, second by Mike. Please call roll.
Grindy,
Yes.
Bochamp.
Yes.
Quirk,
Yes.
Riepel.
Yes.
Thank you, Brianna.
Thank you.
Update to commercial and industrial rebate structure.
George's not here? Well, Jordan and I were talking, he was talking about updating the structure for the rebate process, but I think what we'll do, if he's not here, we'll just table this one.
Yeah, I saw him pull into the parking lot.
Yeah, no,
Alyssa's not here.
Do you want me to run down and grab them?
run down and grab them, yeah, and then I can do, if you're okay with me doing my quick report.
Absolutely.
I can sure do that. So, renewable energy project, nothing new there. At the last meeting, they talked about they hope to have a decision by the end of March. They told me at that time that we're still looking into engineering services, and that would have been completed within 2 weeks from that last meeting. And so they probably do have an engineer picked by now, and a lot of favorable discussion. It wasn't that they were moving away from the project. It sounded like they're embracing it more and just kind of letting the process play out there. So hope to hear something. I do have a meeting again on February 20th, and so I'll give you another report, at that point, and we'll see where that one goes. American Crystal Sugar, we just received we just got reimbursed from them for the RECs, renewable energy credits. There was an administration charge in MRETs in order to do it. I think it was about $0.015. And so we paid MMPA, and then Crystal paid us back. So happy to report that. Still waiting on final documents regarding the DSC roof. And it's not that I haven't been trying. I've been contacting Dan Trenda from Roof Specs every few weeks. I think Todd has spoken with him as well. The only thing there is we just want to close the account out. We're holding back about $90,000, just under $90,000, and so it'd be nice to get that finalized out. And I know, Todd, you had a discussion. Yeah, so hopefully that will happen soon here. Other than that, those are the things that I had on my list. If there's things that you have for me, let me know.
Any questions for Mike on his checklist? No. Thank you, Keith. Here's Jordan here.
All right, perfect timing. Yep.
Good morning.
Morning, buddy. Morning.
Hey.
So just have one item today. Just want to do a request to update our commercial and industrial rebate structure. So I've been working with Tom and Matt over at Frontier on our American Crystal rebates, which they'd only be our one industrial customer. And they advised that we update the rates we use for those industrial rebates. And these only apply to custom rebates. So what I currently have documented, I believe this started 15 years ago, was 7 cents per kilowatt hour for commercial lightings, and those are customs. Those aren't any of our prescriptive rates. 3 cents for VFDs and 5 cents for other custom industrial products. So the recommendation here is to start utilizing the Minnesota standard of 3.5 cents per kilowatt hour. So there'd be more of an incentive for VFD upgrades where you see your largest benefit in kilowatt hour savings.
Sure.
And as LED lighting has become more standard over the last 15 years, there's less of an incentive money-wise to do that 7 cents. So my recommendation is to follow their standard that they've been using across Minnesota and start utilizing that for the custom rebates for our industrial customers.
And this would be only for industrial?
Correct.
Is that all industrial, or is it limited to a certain size?
That would be all industrial.
No, and commercial.
In commercial.
Right?
Yes.
Commercial and industrial,
Yep.
okay.
And that's only when we use a custom amount, something that we don't have defined in our prescriptive rates.
Gotcha.
Yep.
No, I understand. Okay, thank you. Looking for a motion.
I'll move to it.
Second.
Okay, thank you. Please call roll.
Grindy,
Yes.
Bochamp.
Yes.
Clerk,
Yes.
Riepel.
Yes.
Thanks, Jordan. Do you want to just stay up there for your report while you're there?
Absolutely, while I'm still up here.
Sure.
So yeah, I've been working with Chad at Border States. I got all of our past invoices for those American Crystal updates. We got that going. I've been working a lot with Jacob over at Midco to kind of update all of our ads we have currently in place. It's the same schedule, just trying to update our graphics, make them a little more visually appealing. Other than that, we're going to look into the EUI projects, any sort of transformers, anything like that, what we can capture as far as savings in 2024, see what the ECO program would allow us to utilize essentially. So I'm going to work with Matt on that. Other than that, I have some annual surveys, AE2S, our Green Step survey, ESP Water. So with the approval of this RCA, I'll probably have 1 or 2 quarters of American Crystal for the next meeting. Got the approval to go ahead and pay out one of the Sanford lighting rebates, so that'll be next meeting as well here too. And that is about all I have. Is there any questions at all?
I just have one question. There was some time ago that I can remember, quite a while ago, down in the cities, one of the suburbs, they took some of their SIP money and they used it for I guess, planting trees in neighborhoods, saying that the shade was helpful for the air conditioning units. I'm just wondering, have you seen or heard anything, SIP money being used presently for anything?
I haven't heard of anything in my time. Yeah.
I haven't heard anything either, Mike.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was Elk River, if I remember right, the one that did.
That's definitely something I could, just kind of do a little research into.
I can do it.
Yeah.
I'll ask Elk River at the next meeting.
Okay. Anything else for Jordan?
No, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Perfect, thank you.
All right, well, now Todd, since you got budged on.
Morning, everyone. Well, got some good news. We got our DSC generator is up and running. We did have a small oil leak. I got a hold of Ronnie over at the city shop. He came over. We got that part tightened up. They had ordered a new part, but we didn't need that. So I got to thank him for coming over. Saved us a lot of time and headache there. And we have Corey, I think we'll probably run it 10 hours or maybe a little more. So we're glad to have that back up and running. So I got one bill left to settle out, and I did meet with the contractor, so I just got to go over that and finalize that. I took some cost off for things that they didn't do and some parts. The inventory audit was completed last Wednesday. Brianna, she'll let us know if she needs any more invoices or anything, but I want to thank everyone for all the help, and that's a lot of inventory to take care of and account for, and it worked out well. The crews are out trimming around some street light trees, trim the branches off. We did get our 3-inch water meters in, and we're going to try and start installing a few of those in some of the city buildings here. Tyler's working on some scheduling there. And we've been working on the Stowe Park baseball lights. If you see those on for some odd reason, I think we figured it out. We did put some relays in there, and then Andrew did change out a switch. I think the contacts were rolling over and turn them on. So I think we've got that taken care of as of now. And we did get asked from the park department's hockey rink lights over at Nash Park. There were some old 1,500 watt or 500 watt quartz.
Oof.
We had some of the parts laying around from the old solar lights, and that's what we'd put up, and we did have a couple of used LED lights, so we put those up there. So looks pretty nice. It's probably a little more light than we need, but a lot more efficient. So
Oh, yeah.
the crews were out there when it was probably 20 below there and changed those out, so it's pretty nice.
With those cords, you could use that from the warming house.
Yeah. So also just a little side note here, we did bucket in for we're working on some quotes for a small bucket truck. We did have that in the capital planning. It sounds like some of the vehicles are available now, but now the bodies are way out, so we're gonna just keep working forward on that and see where we end up coming out on that. And we're just working with Todd on the progress plans for this year, what we need, and we got the transformers and the wire quotes lined up, and a couple other projects we're going to add in, smaller ones for support the system a little more, so we can have less outage time or anything like that. So other than that, that's about all I have.
Any questions for Todd?
Thank you.
Thank you, bud. Brian?
So on January 24th and 25th, we conducted the startup of the new soda ash feed equipment with Chemco Incorporated. Everything went really well and worked as it should. We are waiting, however, for a few punch list items to be completed before we release final payment on that. And I have been working with Steve on this as well. I've also been working on our Tier 2 emergency and hazardous chemical inventory. That's an annual report that we have to do for Homeland Security. And then lastly, I was working with Brianna, going through some asset lists just to find out, make sure we don't have any duplications on there, or if things have been replaced or removed, I guess, from the list. And that's all I have, unless there's any questions.
Questions for Brian? Okay, no, none. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian.
Brianna.
Okay, we had our inventory count with Brady Marts on the 31st. It went quick and well, so that was good. Appreciate all those that put a lot of time into getting the inventory counted and recounted and ready for them to come look at that. Also want to thank Todd and Steve. We occasionally get construction status inquiries from different bonding companies, and they fill them out and return them like really fast. So appreciate their attention on that. Been busy working on all sorts of year-end entries and just different stuff for the audit. We'll still have a couple more 2023 expenses trickling in through accounts payable. So once that's done, then I'll do all the fixed assets and stuff, and that is usually kind of what takes a big chunk of time. So continued update, some year-end tracking sheets and that kind of stuff. Continue training with Alyssa on different things. Just continue to add more duties as she gets more comfortable with different stuff. And then also month by month, you know, as we do accounts payable, as we do billing or whatever, we're kind of keeping tabs on different functional requirements as we are going for the RFP process for new software. So continuing to keep that in mind. It just is easier when you're doing the things, they come to mind and you write them all down at that time. So that works pretty well. Yeah, unless there's any other questions of me, that's all I have today.
Questions for Brianna? Thank you, Brianna.
Thank you.
Carla.
Nothing unless you have questions.
Tyler.
Nothing unless you have any questions.
All right. Corey.
Nothing to report.
Commissioners' reports.
Yeah, one thing. To the family and the employees who worked with Randy, I'd like to say our condolences. Also to the members of Widseth on the passing of Brad Bale, to the family. Been a little tough time for us here in the city the past 2-3 weeks, so I'm sure we'll get through it. Also, Mr. Olstead and I will be meeting with American Crystal tomorrow morning, our quarterly meeting that we do, and I'll bring up some of what we talked about, see if they've got any concerns or any problems, and we'll let you know. Okay? Thanks.
Thank you. Anything else from the commissioners?
No, sir.
Motion to adjourn.
So moved. Second.
Call roll, please.
Yeah, 3 of them. Grindy,
Yes.
Beauchamp,
Yes.
Quirk,
Yes.
Riepel.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, Mike.
Yep, thank you.
See you, buddy.
Yep.
Keith, you want these? Or?